Get that out of here.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Knowing your way around the camera tools in Keyshot will help your workflow and your renderings. Today we're going to talk about the camera UI in Keyshot and how the cameras work with Studios, which is a really helpful tool for just organizing your files and speeding up your workflow. So let's get into it. Every journey starts with a courageous first step. And in the camera panels of Keyshot, that first step is adding a new camera. This can also be done at the Add Camera button up at the top bar. As you probably figured out when you opened up the program, basic camera movement can be controlled by left-clicking to rotate, wheel-clicking to pan, and scrolling to zoom in and out. Easy peasy. For more precise control, you have the 4 sliders: distance, azimuth, inclination, and twist. These sliders will adjust the camera position in relation to the camera target, which can be set by clicking this little guy right here, and then clicking on a point that you want to focus on within the camera view. If you want to easily toggle between standard views like top, side, front, there's a drop down right below the Set Camera button, which you can click and simply select a view that you want to switch to automatically. Below that, we have the lens settings. These little guys switch between lens presets like perspective, the classic ID view, orthographic, something that you see normally in CAD programs or engineering drawings, shift, which is used mostly for interior and architectural renderings, and then panoramic, which is mostly for environmental views. Also in lens settings is the match perspective button. This is handy because it instantly matches the perspective of a backplate image that you might drop in. Also, you have the focal length and field of view sliders, which further let you adjust perspective. Below that, we have stereo settings, which is really mostly used for VR purposes, and I'm not really going to be getting into that in this video. But below that, we have the holy grail of camera settings for ID, the depth of field setting. Using this little guy, you can select a point that you want to be in focus to your camera, and then fine-tune using the focus distance slider attached to it. Also, you can adjust the f-stop to pick what is and is not included within focus, or where that out of focus blur starts. If you're having a hard time telling what is and is not out of focus with your depth of field settings, Geometry View can be a good way of visualizing that, because it shows the camera and it shows the barriers where the focus distance and f-stop are. If you can just kind of get... Geometry View is also handy for determining if your camera target is set correctly and evaluating your cameras in relation to each other. So, you've got your camera set up how you like it. Now comes possibly the most important part, the thing that you always have to remember to do, the hamartia that constantly lurks in the camera settings. You must always remember to save and lock. By which I mean, hit the save button and lock the camera. Done. If you want to edit a saved and locked camera, all you got to do is unlock the camera, start adjusting, and if you like it, you can hit save and relock it, and if you don't like it, then you can hit this little guy right here, which will reset to the previously saved state, and then you can lock it again. So now that that's all squared away, it can be helpful to add your camera to a studio. If you're not familiar with studios in Keyshot, they're a way of grouping your cameras, model sets, environments, and multi-materials together in one package that you can toggle between easily. To add a camera to a studio, all you have to do is either hit U on your keyboard, find the Studio tab in your Windows drop down, or you can hit this guy right here. Once you've selected your studio within the Studios tab, you can click the camera and make sure that on the drop down you are selecting the camera that you want to save, and that's pretty much it. That's that easy. It works the same for if you want to save environments, Image styles, model sets, and multi-materials all work the same way, and you'll just have it in this little window right here. I wanted to get into animated cameras, but this video kind of got a little bit bigger than I originally thought it would. And really the main points that you need to know going into using animated cameras is that sometimes they interact in a little bit different ways. For instance, the dolly in, zoom out trick. And also Keyshot 10 has added a lot more variance in what you can do with the cameras. So, you know, if you're into that sort of thing, I can either make a video later about that, or you know, message me directly, or just jump into it and explore. It's pretty fun stuff sometimes. Okay, so main points. Sliders in lens settings will help you with your fine tuning, always save and lock your cameras, and group them into studios for, you know, quickening your workflow up, and making your packages easily shareable. So, you know, if you're working with somebody else, you can send them the whole Keyshot package. It'll have the studios embedded. They can open it up and they can toggle between them and know exactly what you had in mind and how to render it. These types of tips just kind of make your life easier, you know. Keyshot can be painful to work in sometimes, and it's nice to, you know, use the program to its full capabilities so that you can just use it as what it's supposed to be, a tool for you, and not something that's limiting what your visualization skills are accomplishing. Anyway, if you have any questions, hit me or Kyle up, or both of us, and good luck.